Fabulous. So I know, let's see, it's 8:05, so we're going to go ahead and begin.
Let's start.
Let's start. So welcome to Bari-Chats. We're getting through the holidays edition. So I don't know about you guys, but this is the month where I gain most of my weight every year. So Pam, what about you?
This is where I struggle. I have not had any gain until this year, and it's nothing major,
Yeah,
like
just like a
4
pound
or
or two.
5
Yeah.
pounds, and then I drop it in no time. But I'm worried about the holidays because I'm a snacker.
So am I.
And I'm almost 3 years post-op now, so I'm starting to get some of those cravings back. And like tonight, we went down to see Nana, and she was baking Christmas cookies.
Yes, my mother-in-law makes these wonderful Christmas cookies. They are phenomenal. But
I have homemade ginger snaps and snickerdoodles.
Yeah,
I had one of each.
Yep. And that's the thing,
Moderation.
Moderation is going to be key through the holidays. Movement is key. Hydration. I mean, there's a lot of keys. So we're going to go over some tips and tricks to try to help you guys get through the holidays without having any major gain. I got on the scale this morning and I'm up about 3 pounds, but I know that I also haven't had a lot of movement this month because I'm still healing. I also have a mother-in-law who right below my office. So I sit in my office all day and I smell the cookies cooking. So it's definitely been very difficult for me. But
they are bite-sized though.
They are, but she makes them small. They're very tiny.
They're little tiny.
Yeah.
Little tiny.
But a bite or two is okay. Anything beyond that,
Look at me making excuses.
I know. It's all good. But, the big thing now is managing your cravings, because I don't know about you guys, but this is the time of year I'm like, I want everything. You go to someone's house for a party and everything's on the table or in the kitchen. One thing I have found that helps is not to stand where the food is.
Yes. Do not congregate around the food table. Get what you can. Fit it on a small plate.
Like a dessert plate. Go to the dessert table, get the dessert plate.
Go to the other side of the room and sit down. Sit down and actually eat your food, and really take your time. Really focus on what you're doing, because I am guilty of the grazing. I will stand around and chit chat with everyone around the table, and I'll eat a couple chips, and then I'll do, a couple pickles and some cheese and some pepperoni. And, yeah. And you've had 800 calories and no protein.
No protein. And that's the thing. So if you start every meal off with protein first, so while they might have ham maybe for Christmas or a turkey, or my mother did lasagna. So everybody's different. But whatever you have, make sure it's protein first, and make sure it's a lean protein. Make sure you're getting some vegetables in with that protein. And anything beyond that, do it in moderation. Do it in bite-sized bits. This is the holiday. Do not, what's the word I want to use? Don't feel guilty.
Don't, oh my goodness.
I know. The word.
Sugar.
Yes, it is. We should have had it.
Don't, help me out, Erin. Come on.
But anyway, don't like kick yourself down while you're down. Don't sit there and just, I mean, my big thing is I will beat myself up before anybody else can. I called Pam the other night. I'm like, oh my God, I ate a couple of Nana's cookies. I said, I'm in trouble.
And I'm like, so?
Pam and I are much further out than some people too. We have some people in this group that are just starting. And I remember that first Christmas.
And oh my goodness, the cookie.
So cookies have always been a thing, and especially Nana cooks cookies the whole month of December. And I remember I was 4 months after, no, not even 4. I was 3 months after surgery. That first Christmas, I had a cookie, and I called Nikki, and I'm like, Nikki, I ate a cookie. I just ruined myself.
You were in tears.
I was in tears. I was like, I ate a cookie. It was just one. And am I going to stretch my stomach out? Am I going to have dumping syndrome? I just went through this whole thing. It was, don't do that to yourself. Do not do that to yourself. Realize, first off, we do make mistakes. We do eat things that may not be on our plan, especially around celebrations. Celebrations, regardless if it's birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, whatever it may be, we tend to eat a little bit more of things that we're not supposed to. We still have that small pouch, so it's making sure that you're at least getting a little protein in first before going to those other items.
When you restrict yourself,
That's the word.
That's the word. Adjectives. When you restrict yourself, I think you're setting yourself up for failure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I allow myself to have that little snickerdoodle,
Yep.
I'm okay, because I went down there, I had my couple of cookies, I'm good. I'm good. And I know when to stop.
Yes.
3 years ago, I would have
Eating
Oh
that
my
whole
goodness.
zipper bag of it.
I would have probably ate 15, 20
Mhm.
cookies.
Yeah.
After eating a full dinner
Right.
and probably dessert.
Yeah.
And drinking a cup of coffee or 2 or 3. And I don't even, where did I put all this food before?
I know we were talking about that today. I went back and looked. I actually asked everyone on this call right now has the same surgeon. But George, you're not a
He
surgical
hasn't-
patient.
right.
You're like my
He's weight
husband.
loss.
You're doing the weight loss side. By the way, he lost 6 pounds this week, so I'm very proud of him for his very
That's
first week.
fun.
So and I'm proud of you
That's-
because
I can see it in your face.
your
My-
face has changed.
My question very quickly was going to be, is this Nana his mother?
Yes, his mom.
So
Yeah.
how is he? I'm surprised he's not here sitting in, because it's, how do you navigate mom saying, I love to bake, and here's my 400 pounds of Christmas crap, and if you don't eat it, you're gonna hurt my feelings. I mean, it's
So
just it's the
unfortunately,
worst.
he actually got pulled into work, and so he couldn't come tonight. But it's been me. He is not going downstairs, and I can't bring it upstairs if I go down and I want one, because 2.5 years out, I'm not losing weight now. Now it's just maintenance, but I also want to make sure I don't gain. So I might go down like when I'm doing laundry or something and get a cookie or two, but I don't bring it upstairs because I remember those days.
Yes.
He's in the jumpstart phase right now. So he's in his second week of jumpstart. He got pulled out and had to drive to Key West, Florida for work with the military, and has to come back. And he actually took all the shakes out of my refrigerator, which I was fine with. It just surprised me. I didn't expect it. Took the shakes. I had made hard-boiled eggs. I literally packed him everything you can think of to be successful while he's traveling. And like tonight, he went to a restaurant and he's like, I don't really know what to order. I said, well, think about how I order. I said, just remember your portion sizes are bigger. And so he got a fish with a side of vegetables. He did really, I'm very proud of him, and I'm excited to see, because usually he has a gain on the weeks that he travels for work. And I'll be excited because when he gets home, he has to weigh in again. So I'm really excited to see that on Friday morning when he gets up.
Well,
But
I will tell you for me, and you can share this with him, and
I will.
you both know how to get in touch with me. So if he needs any moral support, he is welcome.
That's amazing.
He is welcome to reach out to me, because I will say I am a sweet junkie. I always have been. My dad had a horrible sweet tooth.
Guy. He likes the potatoes and the rolls and that kind of thing.
See, and I basically I made Thanksgiving dinner, and I said, that is how I'm going to control the calories in my food. I am cooking everything.
Yes.
There you go.
And I basically told everyone, you're in charge of desserts. I will not bake a single thing. I won't make a pie. I won't cook a cookie. I'm not doing any of it. And I don't care how much of it you bring. I'm going to eat what I want.
Yep.
In moderation. And when it's time for everybody to go home, you're taking all of that crap out of my house, but you're not leaving it here. Because I will just keep eating it because it's here.
Yes.
it calls to me in the middle of the night. It is like I know it's here, waiting for me to come and take 2 little forkfuls at 2 a.m., whatever
I've done
it
that.
will be. And I will say, for my first 8 months, I was very, very stringent. I did not eat any. I didn't break from my dietary restrictions, and I'm going to use the word restriction. I was very hard on myself. I didn't eat candy.
You
I
were
didn't eat
following the
cooks.
plan.
I didn't eat cookies. I didn't eat any of it. I stayed away from it, and then I started dabbling a little bit with various different things. I absolutely love Reese's peanut butter cups. It is my I could eat my weight in them every day. Quest peanut butter cups. When I tasted the very first one of those I ever ate, I was like, thank you, Jesus. There is an alternative.
Yes,
There's
amen.
protein in this. It's fewer calories. I can eat one. I usually, if I open them, I give my wife one and I eat one. I don't eat the entire package.
Oh yeah,
But I go home to Michigan and everything is a food celebration.
it
And
is everything.
my entire family is, I went home in May or June of this past year, whenever it was. I watched my younger brother sit at the dining room table and eat 5 pieces of barbecue chicken. And I just literally, I was like, the sheer gluttony around any meal in my family at this point makes me so nauseous. I can't even be around it anymore.
I
And
know.
it's so horrible because I don't want to say, you know what, these people are living their own lives. If this is how they want to eat, who am I to tell them not to eat the way they want to eat if it's what they want to do? But I can't be around it. I can't. It literally,
because it's where we came from, and we were there.
yes, I become very judgmental. I become very like, you people are disgusting. I can't, I just like, let's not eat when I'm around, so tell your husband, I get it. And
I will.
I have not gained at all.
That's
It's
awesome.
my 1 year with my original consultation with Dr. Helmy was December 6th.
Oh, congrats.
I have had weeks and at one point I had probably a better part of closer to 2 months where I did not lose anything, but I didn't gain anything.
Yeah, you were just plateaued.
So I hit kind of a plateau. I lost, and I know you guys have experienced this. I lost somebody who was very close to me. And so my eating wasn't out of control. I just wasn't as diligent as I wasn't working out the way I should have been. And I just didn't care for the most part. I was like, right now,
You got to deal with your emotions.
I don't have it in me. But I haven't had a single week where I've gained any weight. I've either remained the same.
Well, I will definitely hook you up with my husband, Billy. He also is with the homies group. He just happens to be traveling and can't join, but he plans to join all the future calls. So make sure to, join us, and I'm sure that'll be great. So we've had some other people join on the call. So we're going to talk about some tips and tricks
to get through the holidays.
And one of the big ones is being prepared. So what does that mean? That means planning ahead, having some protein. Maybe I'm going out to meet Pam and her husband, their family. Like we do game night once a month, and we eat. Our husbands, while my husband is now on the program, before it wasn't, and we were having sausage dip with chips and the whole gluttony kind of thing, like you were saying. And while Pam and I would just have a little bit of it, if we stood in the kitchen, we would eat more of it. And part of that is not even realize it. So one thing, step away from the buffet or step away from the table that has the food. 2, don't go somewhere hungry. Well, and 3 is the water, hydrate. But don't go anywhere hungry. I don't care.
Especially the grocery store.
Yeah, the grocery store is the worst, because if you walk in there hungry, you're going to buy stuff, and then you're going to come home and go, all I have is this junk food that I was craving at the moment. But, take a dish that you can eat.
And snacks available.
Yes.
We keep those
protein
bars in our purse.
There's a reason that my purse is bigger than my laptop bag, because I literally take nuts everywhere. I take protein bars. I take, whatever. I take all my drink flavors and everything with me. I even take Splenda because not every place has Splenda. So, you know, I carry all of that with me. And my husband's like, why is your bag so big? I'm like, well, you know, this is why. So
Remember your whys.
yes, during the holidays, especially when it's about everybody else, you need to focus on yourself as well. That's movement. That's remembering why you started this. And remember, the holidays are just a couple of days. It's not the whole month. So, you know, practice. How is the wording? I'm going to make sure I say this right. Stick to your routine. Make sure that your routine is happening every single day.
Portion sizes.
The portion sizes and your pattern of eating. So, especially if you're in the beginning, you're eating every 2-3 hours, you know, consistently, stay consistent. When you break consistency, that's when you start having problems. You know,
Don't allow yourself to get to the point that you are starving.
yes.
Because that's when you tend to overeat. And as a bariatric patient who's had surgery, that can be very painful. Sometimes you take that last bite in and swallow it before you realize, oops, one bite too many.
Yeah. And then you get that backup for the bariatric patients. And then for the people that are not doing bariatric, but are doing the diet plan or the plan, are they then have that after feeling because they've added sugar or they've added heavy starches back in, and it just makes you feel heavy.
Don't sabotage what you've already worked through.
During the holidays, it's also becomes, you get very busy. You're visiting family, you're working, you're having work events. I mean, literally, we have something going on every weekend in December. And if you don't plan for movement during the month of December, you're probably not going to get it in. Even if that movement means it's too cold outside, I don't have a treadmill, what am I going to do? Put YouTube on your TV if you have a smart TV, or put it on your phone, do a little workout. They have walking workouts for indoors. And it's amazing because they have, I would have never thought half of the things that they show.
I do dance breaks at work.
I like that.
I just put on some music and I'm like, oh, dance break, ladies. I just go through.
I love it. So one of the other things that happens about this time is at those parties is usually alcohol, right?
Yeah.
Alcohol has hidden sugars like there's no tomorrow. Also, if you are a bariatric patient, you're going to react to that alcohol a lot differently than you did pre-surgery. I can attest to that. I have some horror stories I'm happy to share offline. My husband sent her video, so, you know.
I have the evidence.
But try to stay away from the alcohol. If you're going to do something, let me suggest what I do now. I create what we call our TikTok waters, and in a smaller container, and then I put vodka in it. So like today we have what we call the Mrs. Claus water, which we have a video. We think it's called Mrs. Claus, and it's delicious. It's got cranberry. It's got what they call sugar cookies, skinny syrup, and pina colada in it. It is the most tasty drink I've literally.
We don't have alcohol in it.
And we don't. But what I'm saying is you can take any of these TikTok waters. So if you're going to have alcohol, don't have a sugar base. Don't have a sugar juice or a soda with it. Do it the smart way, the best you can. But avoiding alcohol, of course, is the best thing for a bariatric patient, or really anybody, because it's just, you also open yourself up to eat more when you're drinking.
Yes, you do. Practice gratitude.
Now, explain what practice gratitude means.
So this happens to me every year.
Yes, mother-in-law.
Yeah.
We love you, Mama Mary.
We love you, Mama Mary. So, she's better at it now. She supports me 150%.
Oh, that's awesome.
But in the beginning, it was hard for her to understand what I could eat and how I ate. So, there was a lot of the gratitude would be, hey, you going to eat some pie, or no, thank you.
I appreciate the offer.
I appreciate the offer, but I'm not going to have any. So remembering to be gracious, thank the
Mhm.
host, but remember your why, and that slice of pie may look good now, but it's not going to be good for your body later. And I've noticed that when I have something with real sugar, which I don't do that often,
Mm-mm.
the real sugar,
It tastes
It's-
like chemicals.
it does. Yes, it has a chemical taste, but also I end up with acid reflux.
Oh, I didn't think
And
about that.
yeah, I have not had that since I had the surgery.
Mhm.
And a couple weeks ago when we were out, remember I had something had refined sugar in it,
Oh, yeah.
just a little bit. It was a small bite or two, and I had acid reflux for the next 2 days. It just
that was you.
destroyed my
That
stomach.
was
I
your
was
knees.
miserable. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, also being gracious is be gracious to yourself. Give yourself grace.
Mhm.
You're going to have moments of where you give in. Have the moment, have the bite, but make the next bite a what? A berry bite.
That
So-
was me yesterday with
Say that again, Aaron.
that was me yesterday with cookies.
Yep. That was me today.
And me tonight.
Yep. We saw Nana. She has the cookies.
She's the cookie monster.
But yes, give yourself grace, because I will tell you, I called Pam the other day. I apologize. I called Pam the other day. Sorry. So as a bariatric patient, you eat sugar. What does it do? It gives you gas sometimes, right? Pam just got gassed. I'm sorry. I just had to explain why she went crazy. Sorry. But anywho,
I love her, God. I love her. I love her, God.
give yourself grace. And Aaron, you're right. I mean, it is so hard during the holidays, especially you get after a year, you're like, I've lost 100 pounds, because most people will lose 100 pounds in that first year. I deserve. And that's where we make the mistake. We
Yes,
use the
I
word I
deserve.
deserve instead of just saying, I can have this, but a small amount. Using the I deserve gives you an excuse, and that you're rewarding yourself with
I
food.
say I want.
Yes.
I want a cookie.
I want a
I'm
cookie.
gonna have a cookie.
Have it. We've split cheesecakes before,
Mhm.
and I
Not cheesecakes.
I
a
meant
slice.
cheesecake. Yeah, a
slice.
slice. That's not a whole cake. But yes, we've had a slice of
There's
cheesecake,
nothing in
and
here.
we have split it before. I mean, I know it sounds like we have had a lot of sweets, but you think this is over a 2.5, almost 3-year period that we've had little bits here and there. But what we're trying to explain is give yourself grace. Be nice to yourself. You've worked really hard. If you choose, remember, it's a choice to put what you put in your mouth. If you choose to put that in your mouth, don't beat yourself up. You made the choice. Make the next bite a berry bite and get some movement, some hydration. Increase your protein to make sure you're compensating for the lack of nutrients and stuff that you're getting by eating that item.
Don't panic.
Do not panic. Call your berry buddy.
The weight, if you do have a gain from having
Some
a
things.
treat, it's not going to show up the next day.
No,
It's not even going to show up 2 days from it. It's 3 to 4 days out.
Mhm.
You're going to see, you're going to reap what you sow.
Yeah.
So I've made that mistake where I've jumped on the scale the next day. Oh, it didn't affect me.
Right, I can have
even
more.
lost 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Then 3 days later, I'm up 2 or 3 pounds. Like,
Mhm.
oh, okay. So just remember that, because you may get that shock.
Mhm.
Give yourself some time to see what that slice of cheesecake did for you.
Right. But also realize, as long as you're doing, I have like the 90-10 rule or the 80-20 rule, some people call it. If I'm eating 80% on plan, and I allow myself that 10 to 20% to have an item, a small bite, because usually all you need is just enough to satisfy the taste. And I think that that's really where we don't need the whole slice. We just need a taste. And that's enough. At least it is for me. And just understand, getting right back on. Start your morning right. If you know you're going out to dinner with a bunch of friends and you know you're going to have either some drinks or some food that you probably shouldn't be having as part of your plan, then start your morning with high protein. Get your movement in early.
if you're going to, if you're going to dinner with someone, like we do that a lot.
Yeah.
We usually meet for dinner.
We split meals.
My breakfast, I may have a protein shake, or I may have some, some boiled eggs, whatever. Maybe some turkey bacon, turkey sausage. Good bariatric meal. Lunch, same thing. I may have salad, chef salad, something like that with some meat, and then when we have our dinner, it's not as bad.
Right.
Or
Because
I'll have protein shakes for both of those first two meals.
exactly. I do the same thing. If I know that I'm going to be having a night where the food may get, I don't want to say the word out of control, but goes against what I would normally have. Like if I went to a pasta party one time, it's a pasta party. It is what it is. I literally had shakes for breakfast, a shake for lunch, a hard-boiled egg in between, and some carrots in the afternoon. And I knew going into that, and I made the what's it called? The
Oh, that pasta you make.
yeah, the bonza pasta. We
Bonza.
use that,
It's
and that's made.
chickpeas.
It's made of chickpeas. So it actually, and it tastes. My husband,
It's wonderful.
it's actually delicious. And we made a meat sauce, and so that was ours for the pasta party.
That was the first time I'd ever had pasta, was when you guys made that, because I went 2 years and hadn't had pasta.
We do that about once a month
Pasta.
because I still don't want a lot of pasta and stuff in my
Yeah.
life, because it's a comfort food for me. But I found a way that I can have it. I use Rayo's sauce. I use lean hamburger meat or sausage or both, and mix it in there. So it gives me a nice meat sauce for the protein. And then the bonza pasta actually has protein in it, as well as it's plant-based because it's the chickpea. So think outside the box. You're going to a place, they say, bring a dish. First off, go into your repository or go into Pinterest or reach out to the Bari-Bestiez. We have tons of recipes, and, get some ideas. That way you can take your recipe and somebody goes, oh my gosh, that's delicious. And you'd be like, yeah, it's bariatric friendly. Can you believe that?
Like my cauliflower mac and
Oh
cheese.
yeah, I've got to try that. But, sometimes it gives you a chance to tell your story as well. And I don't know about you guys, Aaron, you can, jump in, or any of you guys can jump in. I try not to like kill people with information, like constantly say, yeah, I'm a bariatric patient. I've lost 160 pounds and blah, 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 blah. But if they ask you, if you are open to sharing that, it never hurts to share your journey.
Yes.
Because people learn from that. That's how my husband ended up doing the non-bariatric plan.
And you never know who you're going to influence. Like when we went to Bethpage,
Yes.
I stopped at a little
Antique shop.
and the owner, I had bought a ring, and I was so excited because it was 3 sizes smaller than what I normally wore. And we were talking, and she's like, so how did you lose your weight? And I shared with her, and she said, I had gastric sleeve. What was it, like 10 years ago? So she was 10 years out now. And I can't remember her name, but she has joined Bari-Bestiez.
Yep. She's one of the Bari-Bestiez now. So,
And she has that support from us.
and absolutely. And, that's the thing. I guess I'll take a quick break, a path on
Detour.
is that, I know, is that sharing your journey impacts others, maybe not immediately, but people want to be healthy. They just don't know how to be healthy. So, helping others is fine. My personal thing is, in the beginning, I was like, no, you can't, I can't have that. So neither can you. I used to do that to my husband. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm really being hard on other people. And I've learned to kind of back off that a little bit.
You were also afraid of failure.
I'm still afraid of failure.
Yeah. We're, even 3 years out, almost 3 years out, I still get nervous when I'm around a buffet, or I'm around a dessert table, or, someone's eating something that I used to really enjoy, but I don't touch now.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
Yeah.
Couldn't have it if I wanted to.
There's certain things I still will not eat. I know that they're trigger foods. So I
Can I ask
like,
how long both of you are out? Sorry, I'm new and
Hi.
hi.
I just
Well,
had
just to
my
introduce-
sleeve 2 weeks ago, so.
2 weeks. Congratulations. My name's Nina Bowers, and I had my bariatric surgery on August 31st of 2022. So I'm just over 2 years, about 2 years, 3 months. Pam,
I'm Pam Kessner, and I had gastric sleeve March 23rd, 2022.
and so she'll be 3 years this March. And we both came from the same hospital, the same doctor, and a couple of people on the call came from the same doctor. And we ran into each other doing a 5K, and we just found out we had a passion for helping others, and we built Bari-Bestiez, and I'm down 160 pounds.
I'm down 174.
Mhm.
174.
Yeah. And I have reached my maintenance goal. I'm in maintenance. I actually just had the paniculectomy, which is skin removal surgery. And
Did you get that paid for or did you have to pay out of pocket for it?
I did get that paid for. I only had to pay my copay, but you have to be it must be medically necessary.
Right.
So the one thing I tell people, especially in the beginning, take pictures. So
Yeah,
the
that's what my
biggest thing-
physician told me.
Yeah, take
Yeah.
pictures. So you're going to get at some point that fungal or
Yeah.
rash underneath your apron, your belly apron. Take a picture of it every time you get it. Have
Did
your
you-
doctor prescribe a prescription for it to put
Okay.
on.
I don't
They-
want to take up a lot of time because your hints are great
No,
for,
no, no,
for
no.
getting through.
This is good.
So,
And
did you have much of an apron before your surgery?
yes, yes,
Okay.
I'm actually getting ready to create a reel that's going to have my pictures throughout.
You're brave.
And I am in my underwear when I take these pictures. And I'm scared to put it out there, but I'm like, you know what? People wear bikinis, so it's okay.
Right.
You're seeing everything.
Yeah.
My belly is. And yes, I will be putting that out there just to give people an idea of what it really entails.
Yeah.
Yes, mine hung down very low, but I had what they called a bilateral stomach. And actually, Pam has the same thing. And they say it's only 10% of women that have it.
Wow.
Look like the letter B.
Yeah, we look like the letter B, so our stomachs made a B. When he did my panty, he actually connected to the two muscles while he was in there, and so
Okay.
now I'm literally I'm flat.
Beautiful.
But I still have swelling. I'm still healing.
Sure.
So, but yes, we appreciate you asking that question though, because a lot of times we forget to introduce ourselves when we have new people.
Well, and I was a little late getting on.
That's okay. We're just glad you're here.
Technology.
If you have any questions, please ask us on the pages. I mean, we have so many members, and we have a lot of people that are brand new. We have people that have been even further out than we are.
We have tons of resources.
Yes, lots of resources. We actually work with the OSLP and Rob, Dad Rob. He's another person that's out there. And we just really connect with a lot of
What's the
people.
name of his
Busy Bariatrics.
Busy Bariatrics.
So Busy
Okay.
Bariatrics, I recommend you following if you have a chance on Facebook. They're another good resource. And of course, our sleep podcast is another
Yeah.
one.
I think, what I don't know if you read my post last night, but kind of going into this, I had looked at a lot of Facebook pages and found that this is the first one. And I bet I've been on 15 or 20, but you're the first one that are real people. All the rest are bots selling their cookbooks or their plans.
Yeah.
Or
If I
whatever.
see stuff come into I'm a police. I police it because I'm actually an IT person.
Them out.
Okay.
First off, they get a warning, but I remove the post.
Yeah.
If they ever do it again, they're gone.
Yeah.
This is not what this is for. This is not a selling. That's not what we're here for. We're here to support.
Yeah.
And we actually have a program that's going to be coming out in January to offer one-on-one support. It will be at a cost because
That's the beginning of ours.
That's the beginning of ours. But it's going to be one-on-one where we help you come up with a meal plan. We help you with your exercise regimen. We follow you on a weekly basis. We meet with you, that kind of thing. So we're going to be offering that and starting in January.
Nice.
To help people through their program. But I guess one other thing I wanted to bring up, we've got 20 minutes, which is great. We've really kicked it through it, haven't we?
Oh, we've been talking.
We have like speed talking, I feel like sometimes. But so we have people that are 0 to 6 months. They can be pre-op through 6 months. That is a very different journey. So this time of year, if you're in that area, a lot of the stuff we were talking about, having a bite of this and a bite of that,
Don't.
That first year, and the reason we both say this is because we are very different. Like, she was very strict on journaling everything, writing it down. She logged every morsel that went in her mouth, where I didn't journal anything. But look at us now.
Same result.
We got the same results. It's just making sure you stick to the plan. So that first year, you shouldn't be having any carbs. You shouldn't be having any alcohol. You know, you should be sticking to the protein, the vegetables, the non-starchy, non-carby vegetables, the lowest sugared fruit like apples. What was the other one? Because I mostly eat apples because it's just easier. I know I don't have to worry about it so much.
What's the other one? I eat apples every day.
I do too. I have one apple a day. Keep the doctor away, right? But you know, that 0 to 6 months, and really the 0 to 12 months, you want to stay away from carbs, because one thing that the doctors will tell you, the surgeons will tell you, is that first year is critical in the bariatric journey, because you're going to lose your most weight in that first year. So if you start deviating and adding carbs in and adding things in like sodas, or I have people that constantly ask, when can I drink a soda? Never. I'm never drinking a soda.
No
It's carbonation. Anything that's carbonated is out of my, it's never allowed back in.
I was 2 years out before I had bread.
I was 15 months out, and I had
We had it at the same time.
Yes, that's right, because we were together. And I will say now at 2.5, 3 years out, I will use the 647 bread, but I'll have one slice and I will fold it over on anything I need. But my husband uses that now too for anything
I like
he
the
uses.
647.
Yeah.
I like the Dave's good seed bread, the really thin slice, because I like crunch.
Yes,
I need the crunch.
She's a crunch person. But then you've got the next section of people on their journey that are in their 1 to 2 year. You still want to keep your carbs to a minimum, but you can allow certain things in that are not going to totally throw you off of your journey.
In moderation.
Very, very minimal moderation, because this is where you're learning how to go outside the plan. I can have a bite of this. I can have a bite of that. If I wanted something, my husband would have it, and I would just take a bite, one bite.
And then we wonder why he's on a weight loss program.
Now he's on the weight loss program.
Here, eat this cheesecake. Can I have a bite?
Yeah. Order cheesecake. I just want one bite. Yeah. Poor guy. I really screwed him over, didn't I?
I know you have 12 meatballs. Can I have one of those?
Yes. So, and then there's the 2 years plus. So 2 years plus. So that first 12 months is no carbs. Stay away from it completely. If you can avoid it, do not add them back in. 1 to 2 year, go ahead. You can have little bits, moderation. 2 plus, this is where you've got to learn to find the balance.
You have to learn to live.
You have to learn to live
your life as a bariatric patient without restricting yourself. You have to learn well, that doesn't sound right. You want to restrict certain things.
Well, no, I think you don't want to feel like you're not allowed to have things, and that word just keeps escaping me.
Allowed.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to have it. I hate somebody saying you can't have something.
Yes.
I can have anything at 2+ years, as long as it's small portions. So as we tell people all the time, if you go somewhere and you want something, get a toddler's plate, or get a dessert plate, or use a saucer from your coffee. Yeah,
I never eat off of a full size plate.
Never, ever.
Even when we go out to Amy's, I use my little saucer, my cup.
We cut what we want off of it. A lot of times we'll go together to dinner and we split it, but we still put our stuff on the smaller plate, because it is a mental image of seeing your food fill up a plate. Last year, I was just over a year. Last Thanksgiving, we went to my sister's house, and she didn't have any dessert plates. All she had was those big plates. Even though I only put a spoonful of each item, I made sure I had every single thing on there. My plate was full. Did I eat all that? No way. There's no way to do that. Now, you said you had gastric sleeve. Is that correct? So one thing you'll notice too is when you start having real food, if you take one bite too many, you're going to get the backup right in here. You're going to feel it back up. So,
Or the foamies.
or,
I get the foamies.
well, see, I get the backup, but I get the hiccups.
And then I get the foamies.
You get the foamies. She looks like a rabid dog. So, and I'm just kidding.
For that image. No respect.
Here comes Cujo. But and the one thing you'll find about Pam and I is we're silly. We love life and we've lived life. We've had all the bads. We've had a lot of goods.
We're dingbats.
We are. But we became best friends on this journey and we are
Because
just
of this journey.
because you're right,
No.
because we wouldn't have met each
We
other.
met because of this journey, but we became friends because of who we are.
Yes. And we continue to, we actually have a program that we built within Bari-Bestiez called Bari-Buddies. And so if you want someone that can be an ear, someone to text or talk to when you're struggling, or someone that can, give you ideas, because here's the thing, nobody understands your journey except for somebody else that's on it. And a gastric sleeve patient is very different than a bariatric patient
Yes.
versus a bariatric surgery versus someone like my husband and George who decided to do the plan where they're working on just their eating habits and their movement.
And the bypass is different. They
Yes,
just have a
that's what I
different
meant.
Experience.
Yeah,
yes.
that's what I meant. And then you have the duodenal switch.
Duodenal switch.
I can never say that word. There's so many different kinds. So when we pair up buddies, we make sure that they are the same journey. We try to get them as close to surgery date. That's why we ask for surgery dates.
Mhm.
Sometimes it can be up to a 6-month difference, but that's not bad because once you get through that first 6 months, it's all the
'Cause
same.
We're what, 5 months
We're
apart?
5 months apart.
5 months.
And then we also pair you up based on the type of surgery you have. So based on those things, that's how we pair people up. You can have somebody anywhere. We have actually, what, about 15 people? No, I think it's more like 50 people that are outside the United
Mhm.
States that are a part of our group now.
Yeah.
Um,
Countries.
yeah,
all
different-
over the world.
We are.
We are worldwide. We're like FedEx.
Oh my gosh.
We're just not as fast.
Definitely not. And my brain doesn't work the way it used to. I'm getting a little older. But, the biggest thing about Bari-Bestiez and Erin is a wonderful example of what Bari-Bestiez is about. It's about promoting other people, helping other people, because she will respond to almost every message that gets put out there that she has some ability based on her knowledge.
A lot of knowledge.
She has a
when it comes to
lot of
bariatrics.
knowledge. She's been through the gamut. She and I both were on Wegovy for a little while because I needed that last 20 pounds and my body was not letting go of it. And I got on Wegovy, but now I'm dealing with the cravings because
They're back.
they're back. And that's a hard thing to deal with. So if you get on something like that, on the semaglutides, I know Wegovy is one of those, and it actually curbs your appetite. You don't want to eat.
And you didn't want to eat very much.
I didn't. I was hard
not
to
very
eat.
happy with you.
And Erin, I think you were the same way, if I remember correctly. Is that you just didn't want?
Sometimes, yeah. It's so I'm now 18 months post-op the sleeve. Next
Awesome.
week. And
When you're down to an extra large, come on.
I know,
Girl.
I know. It's
Awesome.
still it's like always trying to be conscious of recognizing yourself where you're at. Because last Christmas I was 6 months post-op, and I know what are my trigger things that I just can't have because it's a problem. That medication did help some, but then your mind finds ways to trick yourself to what I call
Overwork it.
eat around your sleeve.
Oh, I like that.
And you
Mine
can
was
eat
still-
around this because I've gotten kind of to the point where I don't like food. Like I like food, but I would rather just snack on food than to eat meals of food.
I
And
went through that.
I don't know why I'm dealing with that. I don't know why it's like that. Um, but for some reason, for like the last month, that's how I've been. I actually loathe the fact that I need to sit down and eat meals because I just don't want to eat meals.
Yeah, I mean, there were
Um,
times where I would go all day without eating.
I went through a stage where I could not, I couldn't stand
Red
meat, any kind of meat. Remember, I was strictly eating vegetables,
You
and I
were
wasn't getting
vegetable.
I was drinking protein shakes and eating protein bars to get my protein.
Mhm.
And this was probably, I was only about maybe a year out at that
Mhm.
point, and I was struggling. And then out of nowhere, all of a sudden, I just was able to eat meat again. It was just something I went through.
Because I
well,
finally gave her a
and I
burger
think
that was
like
cooked right.
relating back to the topic of this meeting,
Yeah.
some of my suggestions are like I made a post yesterday about how I ate all these freaking cookies and it
Which
was
we
at
were very
work,
proud of
right?
you.
We were proud of you for posting that because a lot of
Yeah.
people wouldn't post that.
Well, so the journey for me to this was very long. Um, I was like 400 pounds and I just wanted to do something because I felt like I was going to just croak, right? And I was only like 35 years old.
Right.
So my insurance required a year of like
I remember
they
this.
called it wellness
Mhm.
program or some crap, I don't know. So I had to do that for a year plus all the stuff with homie, blah blah blah. Basically, it was like 14 months from the time I started to the time I had my surgery. And in
Mhm.
that 14 months, I spent a lot of time to educate myself on what is the right thing for me to do. And it's like I think the important part is that it's never going to be easy because most of us have struggled with our weight for our whole entire life. At least I know I have. And I'm trying to get to a point now where like I'm just truly happy with what I have done. Because you struggle forever. I have
Mhm.
struggled forever. And at some point you want that struggle to be over, right?
Yeah.
So it's like I've just spent a lot of time educating myself, trying to talk to people that have done this, trying to find people in my area that have been through what I've gone through because people don't know. Your
They don't.
family doesn't know. Your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, sister, brother doesn't know. It doesn't, not even if you had surgery, if you're following a diet plan, some type of weight loss plan, your own plan, they don't know. They don't
Right.
know because they haven't done it, or they
Right.
don't know because they could never stay committed, or they don't know because they're scared, or whatever the case is. So this time of year is tricky because people go a lot of places.
Mhm.
I tried to take food that I cooked and
Mhm.
that I'm like, you know what, Aaron? That's what you're eating first because you brought it, and now you're
Mhm.
obligated to eat it because you cooked it and brought it.
But you cooked it
Mhm.
and brought it, but you also know what's in it, so you know you can.
Right.
I think
But
that's
I
wonderful.
You
also
need to add that. Eat your
like
own first.
for me, it was doing all this was a mental struggle already because
Yeah.
you have some kind of connection to food anyways. Like something about food was something to you, right?
Mhm.
So I have found that like I did not want to live, I did not want to put a very high restriction on myself because I knew over time that I would never be able to fulfill being so hard on myself
Mhm.
because well, that was one of the reasons why I was never successful before. And it's like the comment that I wrote on my post last night is that the food is still existing no matter how much weight I've lost. So
Exactly.
Mhm.
I have to figure out a way to adapt to that, I guess.
Well, you have to
So
learn to live with the food around
So,
you.
like some of my ways is like right now, like if we do a work potluck, I want to take something because I want to contribute, but
Mhm.
like I'm going to take something that I know I'm going to eat.
Right.
Um, I also eat off smaller plates, like a saucer type deal,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Um, at home, even when I go to my mom's house now, like I try to eat off smaller plates. Now is a time where it's like, oh, I'm busy, I don't feel like cooking, let me go out to eat. So if that happens, like I try to order something that's more would be more healthier than an average meal,
Right.
but I will pack up most of it as soon as I get it on the table. Um, it's just so many triggers with so many things, especially
There
this
is.
time of year. And I think it's somewhat, for me anyways, important that it's okay to have this or have that, but you can't stay like that forever because
No,
then you're
no.
gonna be how you were before.
And that's
So,
how people have regained. Yeah.
Well,
it's
I think
happened
you're
to me,
handling
like,
it with grace.
Yeah. You've done an amazing job, Erin. We're very proud of
well,
you.
and that's the hard part too, is because so many people say this, right? And you have to believe it about yourself too. So I know through my journey on this, my surgery went amazing. My recovery was really good. Um, things like that. And I was like, damn, like I'm really shocked that it really went this smoothly. Like so many people say this can happen to you or this can happen to you, whatever.
Everybody is different. Everybody's
So
meeting is different.
it's still like, okay,
Mhm.
in part of the struggle, I know, Marie, you mentioned that you had just had surgery done. For me, I was so happy in the beginning because I was losing weight so fast, so fast. It will taper down some, but just remember the progress that you have made, because that's sometimes what I struggle with now, even a year and a half out, is like I have lost, since I started this process, like 153 pounds. And
Amazing.
when in
Amazing.
my life have I ever lost 150 pounds, much less 50 pounds, and kept it off?
For 18 months. Amazing.
Right.
Right?
So it's, to me, so much more like mindfulness than the food physically sitting there.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, yesterday when I ate all those cookies, I was like, "Oh my God, and you're so stupid. Why did you do that?" Because
I
then
did
I
the same
felt
thing.
bad, like physically bad. But I came home, drank my water, ate my little thing, whatever I did. And yesterday morning, I got up and went to the gym too. So I was like, okay, at least I
That
did
is how you do
something.
it.
That's good. I love that.
You did the right things.
But I mean, did I physically feel ill? I did. And then I started thinking, wow, it was like 4 cookies, right?
Yeah.
But
Hey,
before I would have
I think
eaten
I was
like
about the same.
10 cookies
Yeah.
or
Yep. And you
15
would not have
cookies.
went to the gym the next day.
And you would have probably eaten more before
Oh,
than
yeah.
before.
So I think, I guess, in short to say, because my brain is like a squirrel, so I'm sorry. It
Ours are too.
it's just somewhat hard to not constantly be thinking about, especially now when there is so much food everywhere,
Yeah.
what your next move is going to be.
Well,
So, like,
planning is a good thing.
I
Planning
just
and
try
being
to always
prepared.
have something that I
Yeah.
know I can eat, whether it's protein bars in my desk or like just something that's like, okay, I don't need to walk into that kitchen right now at work where all this stuff is, because
Yeah.
I don't really need it. Um
I like that, the need.
I don't need.
and
I don't need it.
I don't know. My weakness was not really sweets, it was pasta.
Mine was pasta
Um so that is hard
and
because
Mexican food.
I don't I live with people that like the meat and potatoes of food, and I don't really now. But I don't know. It's kind of a weird journey, and I'm trying
It is.
now to get to a place where I just feel good, like about what I've done, you know?
You should. You definitely should feel good
And
about
those
Oh,
damn
goodness.
cookies yesterday did not make me feel good.
But
But
and I
today's
will
a new
say the
day.
same thing.
But
When I ate
but
the cookies, I felt yucky. The rest of the day I felt lethargic.
Yeah.
I felt just
My
drained.
stomach felt like it was gonna explode because I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
what is this?
I was
What
waiting for
did
the
you
diarrhea
do?
to kick in.
But you didn't eat 10 more cookies today. You went
That
back to what you know. You
that's very
did what
true.
you were
Exactly.
supposed to do. You went to the gym. You did everything right after
Yeah.
you did what was wrong. And at the end of the day, that is progress, no matter how it looks. It's
And
Amen.
something I would
progress.
not have done
Me
2
either.
years ago.
I would have got up this morning and I would have ate 10 more.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If I hadn't eaten them all the day before, if there were
Right.
any
Mhm.
left, they would have been
Right.
consumed for
Mhm.
breakfast.
No,
Um,
you're absolutely right. And I think Pam likes to tell me, she constantly, if I say, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I ate that," and she goes, "Well, what would you have done 2 years ago before you had surgery?"
I say that same thing to myself all the time.
And I
All
think
the
that's a
time.
huge thing. We're human. We're going to
Mhm.
have things that are not part of our plan. And I say the word plan because I hate the word diet. But
Mhm.
It's not a diet. You're changing your life. It is what it
yeah,
is.
it's not part of your lifestyle. It's not something you want to have because of how it makes you feel.
Mhm.
And
We've learned a lot along the way.
we really have. And we've learned that what we can allow ourselves to have without
Mhm.
negative consequence, like we know if we split something, we're better at than if we eat the whole thing together, by ourselves.
Mhm.
Um, but it's like Aaron said, you've just got to learn. You have to educate yourself because by educating yourself, you're going to be more successful. And if there's ever a subject that you have questions on, do not hesitate. Put a post out there. Somebody's
Well,
going
that's
to.
sometimes why I make the post that I make, because
Mhm.
I know there is somebody somewhere that is
Going through it.
thinking the same thing or wanting to say the same
Mhm.
thing, or they don't want to say because
Mhm.
it sounds stupid or whatever. Like, I know.
Mhm.
And I know because I know when I was going through a lot of this in the beginning, there was things that I'm like, is this normal? Like, is
Yes.
this really how it is? Because sometimes I feel like surrounding the surgery, there's kind of like this facade, like you have the surgery, you lose amazing pounds of weight, and your life is just great.
That's
And
not how it is at
I'm
all.
not saying that it's not.
No,
It does
You
happen,
have to work hard.
but there are still things that's like, okay, man, like we're still living a reality, whether you have surgery or you don't. So it is what it is. Like,
Right.
it's just that. And I know by having like supportive people, even though I've not met most of you all in person, that it is still important to know people that know what you are doing,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like, and what you are dealing with. My
I
own family doesn't. My family sees, oh my God, Erin, you look amazing. Oh my God. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. Well, like, what are we eating? Because, um, you know, that's another focus of my life also. And depending on what you do, I might not do that or whatever. Like,
no, I mean, you
people
have to
just
make
see how
yourself
you
a
physically
priority.
look, and the unfortunate part is that as you lose weight, which I'm sure some of you can attest to, people will talk to you and treat you differently
They do. Oh my
the
gosh.
more weight you lose. So
Mhm.
it's just this whole thing.
It
Like,
is, and it really makes you think. So people who have been obese, like most of us have been,
yes.
and then now I'm considered, even though my BMI
Mm-hmm.
considers me still obese, which is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous,
Yeah.
but I'm actually I mean, I'm in a size 10, 12. Come
And I'm
on,
in a
Mm-hmm.
12, 14, and we're both considered
Mm-hmm.
obese. And it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. I mean, I was a 40, so
Yeah.
I was a 26. But
Mm-hmm. Me too.
and people wouldn't talk to me,
I know.
or I was afraid to go on job interviews. Where now
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, no problem, you
Yeah.
know?
It's I just I just try to make those posts because I know somebody somewhere is probably like,
And we thank you for that.
damn.
We
Or even
appreciate
if you just read something someone else puts or
it. Hmm.
whatever, it can
It's all
really
about,
make a difference for people just no matter
yes,
what you're doing. Because
yes,
I
you're
know,
helping somebody else by posting because when people post, like Joy Green was an amazing,
yeah,
she
what happened to
posted,
her?
she's just gotten so busy back to
Oh,
work, but she's still on the group.
good.
But she posted literally daily in our
Mm-hmm.
group during the first 6 months.
right.
You
Yeah. She
remember?
journaled her.
She
Mm-hmm.
journaled, and we were so happy to have that. So if you get a
Mm-hmm.
chance or you know how to do it, where you can go into Facebook in our group
Mm-hmm.
and look up Joy Green, you can
Mm-hmm.
see all her
You
posts.
can chronicle
Yeah,
her.
she has really good posts, especially from the beginning of her surgery.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, it's definitely helpful. I think we as Bari-Besties could do a better job of putting out content that's for the entire journey from 0 to 6 months.
We need to revisit what those first 6 months were like.
Yes.
We've kind of forgotten, but well, we didn't forget it. We've kind of
We're talking about
focused on where we are.
yeah.
And, our apologies. We do need to focus more on where our new people are.
Exactly.
That
I,
first 6
can I
months
just
is critical.
interject here? I think that you guys are doing a wonderful job, like I said, just existing.
Oh, thank
And
you so much.
I don't know, I can't, I remember Erin's post. I don't know if she commented on mine, but you do make this feel like a safe space. And, you know,
Thank you.
I have, because of a lot of things going on in my life and where I exist in the healthcare system. I have a tremendous team. I have a physical therapist. I have a personal trainer. I have a dietitian. You know, which is wonderful, but they don't know this journey.
They
No.
don't.
They know the science.
Mhm.
They are always there for me. You
Mhm.
know, that's beautiful, with questions about movement or
Right.
what is safe for me, or, you know, my dietitian is amazing in terms of what is clean,
Mhm.
because I have a lot of dietary issues that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and so, and I've been working with her for a couple of years,
That's
got
awesome.
pretty far down on my weight and then gained it all back, just because that's what happens. And but that being said, none of them have been through this journey.
Right.
And
No.
so,
And
like,
until they do,
my questions are my feelings that they try to validate, but they still,
They don't really know.
they
they don't
don't know.
understand because they haven't been there.
Right. It's like
It's a roller
I think,
coaster.
Nina, you said that you're still afraid of failure.
I still am. And it's actually,
That is my single biggest fear.
it is because I have failed every other thing
Absolutely.
regarding my weight.
Absolutely.
And I've tried it all. I've tried it all since
Yep.
I've literally been overweight since I was 13.
Yeah.
13
Same.
years old, I was 128 pounds, and my best friend called me fat.
Yeah.
And that's where it started. And you're not that best friend, but you know, we have had so many failures through our life that it's hard not to see the
Mhm.
possibility of failure. So
Right.
when I had those cookies the other night, or tonight, excuse me, yesterday and today, I mean, really, it was both. I started thinking, am I creating a pattern? And Pam
Right.
said,
Yep.
no, because once Nana quits cooking the cookies, it'll be gone.
Yeah.
Nana.
We love Nana, but you know, it's a matter, it's a state of mind. People don't realize how much how much of this surgery is mental.
Mhm.
So if you're not seeing a therapist, and you don't have to, but some people do, if you're not having some type of support group, how are you going to be successful without a
Right.
support group? And that's
Well,
really what Bari-Bestiez is a
and
support
Yeah.
group.
and I would add to that, for any of us, regardless of what journey or what path you're on, when you look at addicts in general,
Yes.
if you're an alcoholic, you don't go to the bar.
Nope.
Right.
That's fine.
Just fill in the blank. If you're trying to, if you're a drug addict, you stay away from your dealer. You stay away from other drug addicts. You cannot live without food. So we're food addicts who have to continue to eat every single day to live.
Right.
Exactly. We
And
are
we
the
have-
only addicts
so
that have to be
yes.
around it.
We are the only addicts on the face of the planet who have to go to
Back
our
to
drug of choice
our drug.
every single day, no matter what, for the
Yeah.
remainder of our lives, unless they put us all on feeding tubes and wire our
George, if I could give you a knuckle punch through
Fist bump.
that
Yeah,
was
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that.
But you know what he said eat to live. There's the key. We, as obese and overeaters, we
Live to
need to be I live to eat.
But
I was
Right.
thinking about my next meal while I was eating
Same.
my current meal.
Like, where are we going to dinner tonight? You know?
But it's so interesting that you say that about addicts, because it is very true.
That is interesting.
So
Pam
like
and I
in my
are
job,
definitely food addicts. We
right,
found out
like
we are definitely.
it is like my profession. So I'm a parole officer and I deal with people that are drug addicts and all kinds of things. And, you know, I try to tell them, like, I understand, you know, these temptations and this and this and this. Well, you don't get it because you're not addicted to drugs. And one time I told somebody, I was like, okay, you will never believe this about me, but I was addicted to food. And it's really no different. And
Ours
it's
is just
really
more
interesting
acceptable.
seeing it from a addiction perspective, because it's exactly true. And that's why last night when I wrote that comment on my post about the food is still existing no matter how much weight I have lost, it is what it is. You had to find ways to adapt your life to around that, basically, and it's not always easy.
No,
Mhm.
No, it's not.
it's a constant
No, and
battle.
if celery sticks taste like Reese's peanut butter cups, we do times every day.
Dip them in peanut butter. Well, George, I have a recipe that I'm a Reese's peanut butter cup
yeah.
addict. That's my drug of choice. But I take Greek yogurt, the PB2 powder, and I mix that up.
Have both.
And I put it in a little cup, and I melt the dark chocolate with a little bit of coconut oil, and I put that on top, put it in, it's a little cup, and I put it in the refrigerator. When that shell hardens,
So good.
Oh, I
so
bet.
good.
Yeah.
It's
So good.
yummy.
I
So-
have all of those things, so I will be trying that for sure.
Yes,
Yes.
it's delicious. And the other thing is I think we've got a section on our page that's
For-
for recipes. I
yes.
think we need to start taking the recipes people give us and dropping them in there.
That's what we need.
I think I'll work on that when I'm
I
off.
don't know if you guys saw in the comment, but you mentioned a TikTok water.
Yes, I did see that, and I was going to address
Yeah.
it before we close, and we're probably going to wrap up because we're a little over an hour.
Yeah.
But
We can post the video
yes,
that I
well,
did.
we're going to post. We actually made it in today, and we're going to post the video for making it. But TikTok water is literally people that are out there on TikTok, and it's just videos of people making sugar-free waters
Okay.
using sugar-free packets. We follow a couple people. I'll put that out on the page as well. That we follow for their recipes. Like Rissy Roo is amazing for food and shakes. Tanya for taking your life back at 42 is her handle. She makes TikTok water like nobody's business.
Okay.
She's the TikTok water queen.
She does a new one almost every day. It's amazing. Yeah.
I mean,
She-
I'm weird. I love just plain water. So
Oh,
I drink
That's
a lot of it.
awesome.
Yeah,
So I
because
drink a lot of it. I mean, 64 ounces a day is harder for me now because of the surgery than it was
Yes.
pre-op.
And you'll
You
get
know.
to where you're
Dip,
supposed to
dip.
be. Yeah, and you'll get to where
Yeah.
you're up to 80 ounces.
Yeah.
But this makes it so much easier to just.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
I
and
drink
like you
more
said,
tonight than I have in forever.
I
well,
drink
like I
about
said, going
4
like
of
you
these
said,
a
going
day.
to cocktail parties and things
Yes.
like that. I mean, again, for me, that's way down the road, but
Right, it's down the road, but I'm at that point where I can go and do that. But I have also learned everything is in moderation. That isn't
Right.
just food, that's alcohol, that's anything
Yeah.
you do. We go to the movie theaters. We get a small popcorn now instead of the extra large that you
Mhm.
can get the free refill with. And we split that popcorn.
Because I'm sorry, I'm going to scream it all the way to the heavens. I'm not giving up my popcorn.
However, I did
I love
use skinny popcorn during my first. I didn't have skinny popcorn until I was after my first year, and then I did skinny
Yeah, after you
pop.
became friends with me.
Yeah, when I met her, and then I did skinny pop for that year, and then now I just do a reduction
Okay.
amount because again, I'm in maintenance, so I don't have
Yeah,
to lose,
yeah, yeah.
but I have to maintain because I refuse to be. I mean, again, that fear, that F word. I have body dysmorphia so bad,
No,
and
yeah.
I talk about it
Yes.
because I look in the mirror and I still see my 344-pound
Mhm.
self. I don't see, even after the paniculectomy, I don't really see it. My husband's like, "You're fine. You look
There's
great."
nothing left to you except for boobs and the booty.
Could take her anywhere, but anyway,
It looks like the letter
Hey.
S.
it's all good. But
There are
here's the
lots of
thing.
women that would kill for that body.
Amen to that. You're not wrong. I would have killed for it 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I am very happy that I've worked hard. It does happen. You have to work for it. The surgery is a tool. It is not the answer. It is just a tool. You still have to do the work. So we're hoping that you'll keep joining us on these calls.
Reach out.
Yeah, reach
Yeah.
out for help. We have many, and I love the fact that our besties, and that's what we call our members,
Mhm.
that our besties have no problem helping other people.
Yeah.
And I love that about this group.
Yeah.
So if you ever need anything, don't hesitate, okay?
Well, thank you. Thank
And
you.
I love that you're a redhead.
Yes.
Well, that left, being a natural redhead is a little tough with the surgeries, let me tell you.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
You know,
you
the
will lose some of
anesthesiologists
your
all get a
hair.
little nervous.
You will lose some of
Yeah.
your hair, but just know that it will.
Ugh.
And my red changed colors
It
too.
did.
Did
Your
it?
red changed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I just dyed my hair dark because I didn't have time to go to the salon for another month. She didn't have an
Yeah, I
opening.
hear
So
you. I hear you with
I
the
think it
holidays.
looks sassy.
I'm sassy.
And
Well,
I cut
thank
off,
you so much, ladies and
and I-
gentlemen.
I cut all of mine off.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Well, George, I'm not shaving my head.
Well, I didn't shave my head, but I cut it all off because I was
Yeah.
just sick of it. But real quick, Nina and Pam, before you go, I would just say real quickly, and Maria, it's been fantastic talking
Yeah.
to you. And that pasta you're talking about, Barilla also makes it now too. So you
Yes.
can get a
Yes,
Barilla.
yes.
Yeah,
But
but Banza
Barilla
is
also-
better.
Barilla also makes the rotini, so
Yes.
it's not
So
just
does Bonza.
So does Banza,
Bonza
and it's
does-
better.
They
Have
have
you-
all the pastas.
Have you guys in this, again, you're in this phase, but have you tried the Banza pizzas?
Yes. We had some the other day.
Oh,
They're
sweet.
delicious.
I didn't have no pizza.
Well, also
Oh, they're
the
fabulous. No,
Banza
I've
is
had
a-
them. Like I said, I've been working with a dietitian for years.
Oh yeah. But the Bonza is thicker. I actually found my granddaughters who are not they're 6 and 7. We actually take the Carb Smart tortilla.
That's what I
Oh,
use.
sure.
And we put the Rayo sauce on it. They put the matzo cheese on it, and
Yeah.
then they put their own toppings. It's crispier
Yeah.
than the Bonza,
Interesting.
and it's so good, and it has less carbs in it than the Bonza.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
just another option for you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're gonna-
Thank you, ladies, gentlemen.
Guys,
Have
thank
a
you.
happy
So glad that
holidays.
you guys came. Thank you.
The-
You as
Uh-huh.
well.
The
Bye-bye.
other
guys
thing
have an awesome week.
the other
Bye.
thing I wanted to
Oh, yeah.
say real quick, hang on, if Billy doesn't have a buddy, I would be happy to be his buddy because
yay.
I don't have one
Okay.
because I
that's
haven't
awesome.
asked for one, and I don't know if he knows this because I don't know if you guys even know this, but I just had this conversation with Maya. I can't wait. It's why I asked you this question on Facebook about how much your skin weighed. I can't wait to have a paniculectomy. I want it gone. And I wasn't sure that I could have it done because I'm not a surgical patient.
No,
And
you can have it done.
Maya said, absolutely, Dr. Helmy, we'll take care of that for
Yeah.
you. And tonight, that was one of the things that they discussed in the regular support group was problems that you have post-operatively or 100,
Yes.
many pounds out. And so you saying taking pictures, I have had more yeast infections than a man should ever have to admit that he's ever had in his lifetime.
So making sure
Um,
that Balmy gives you a prescription for, even though you can go and get it at Walmart over the counter,
Yeah.
the fact that you have a prescription on file also helps.
Well, one of the things that I admitted that I basically told people, they're like, dry with a towel, use talcs, use this. I was like, the hair dryer is my best friend, always has been, and is basically. And my wife is like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm doing what I gotta do.
Gotta do.
I don't end up with
I
another
used to walk around with a dish towel underneath mine.
No, it's the worst. It's the absolute worst. But I didn't know. I mean, I don't know whether or not Billy will have that problem, but I was thrilled to find out that that is
will.
still an option for me because I'm 96 pounds down and it's
congrats.
the worst. I absolutely
Yeah.
hate it. I cannot wait for it to be gone. It is never gonna, it's just never, I could do 1,000 sit-ups a day. It's never
And
going
it's never
away.
going to touch it. Skin is skin. Once it's stretched,
and,
it's stretched.
Yeah, it's that. And then, like I said, as far as you trying to match people on the same path, I have been told by multiple doctors, my cardiologist is the one who basically said, go see Dr. Helmy. And I went to see my cardiologist in October and he said, if you haven't had the surgery yet, you don't need it. Don't have it. Keep doing what you're doing. You're on the right
You
path.
lost 96 pounds.
So,
you keep doing what you're doing. Well, I'm going to show you real quick because I was 344. I wasn't as big as some. I do have some swelling and I still have a bandage on. So I am a bit thick still. But I've gone from 344 to
no, that's
This is all banded.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I
So-
mean, I was 306. I said if I
Yeah.
if I could have done laps around myself, I could have lost several pounds a day. I mean, that's just, I mean, it's
That's hilarious.
I'm 5'1". I had a 54-inch waist. I said, if you can do quick conversions, I was 54 inches around and 61 inches tall. That's pretty sad that I was
Wow.
all, I mean, I'm 96 pounds down. I am now wearing a large for the first time in 15 years that I don't have an X on the tags of my shirts or my
That
sweaters.
feels so good.
I love
And
it.
my
And just
waist,
think, once you get the skin off, you'll
Yes.
probably be in a medium.
and I now have I wear I have a 40-inch waist. I've lost 14 inches off my
Yeah.
waist.
That
Um,
is awesome. I have
and-
to ask, do you measure your neck?
I don't, but I should have because
Yes, that's where
I
I
have
noticed
The
I
most.
have shirts in my closet that literally I can put my whole hand.
That
in-
is awesome.
in-
See, my
in-
husband has probably an 18-inch neck right
Right.
now.
Mine
And-
was easily 19 inches or bigger.
Yep.
Um,
And he's a truck. He drives a truck occasionally for the military, and because he has a CDL, he has to pass all these certain physicals. And that was one of the things they said. Once your neck gets to a certain size, it actually indicates sleep apnea and all
yes.
these other things.
Oh, I've had a machine for 1,000 years.
Well, I
Um,
will definitely pair you and Billy up. I will get you guys connected. If you don't mind,
awesome.
what's the easiest way for you to connect with him is probably what, Facebook, or do you prefer? Oh,
You
you've
can
got
give-
his information.
You can give him my cell phone number. I mean, we can text, chat, we can do whatever. I mean, we can text like two teenage girls. That's not a problem at
That's
all.
what we do. My husband's
So,
like, "Who are you talking to?" I
um,
said, "Who do you think?"
yeah, well, I can give it to you right now if you want it. My phone.
Well, let me end the recording.
Okay.
Did it record? Stop recording. Yeah.